All right, man. Girls. We're going to talk about women, relationships. I don't know where it's going. We haven't really planned any. We don't have an outline for this conversation, so we're going to see where it goes. But we are going to be talking about relationships, whether it's gringos and gringas or eh, who knows. Anyway, we're going to get to it in about 45 seconds. Guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps. YouTube's hard. If you want to show some love, you want to donate, there's a fun way to donate. Link in the description. Buy me a coffee. Coffees are $5 each, but you guys know I love coffee, so I might have to donate like $50. No, I'm just playing. So anyway, but it is fine. I've been making videos for 16 years. A lot of information out there. And again, if you just want to show a little appreciation, I would appreciate it. All right, guys, we're up at the relocation retreat, man, and it is packed. We have a jammed-packed house. So if Costa Rica is on your radar and you're thinking you might want to live here, but you're not quite sure, this might be for you. 6-7 day event. Got the best speakers. He's one. We're going to get to him in a second. But all that information is in a link in the description. We're going to have the new dates, I think today or tomorrow, so you'll be able to sign up. I'm thinking March, April-ish, sometime in there. But anyway, I think at the end of the retreat, you will know if Costa Rica is right for you or not. Well, usually I say, or honey, we're going to Belize. Anyway, all that information is in a link. Guys, do you guys recognize Pablo? Pablo's our import-export guy. He's the guy that brings your vehicles, your household goods to Costa Rica. And if you don't like Costa Rica, he will take them back to wherever you are too. We've got quite a few videos with Pablo. So if you we're not talking about shipping on this video, but if you want to see what he does, how he does it, how to get a hold of him, all that, you're interested, I will put those videos that I've done with him with that information also in links in the description. So you might want to check those out if you're thinking about shipping all your stuff.
Yeah. Right? Or if you're shipping your stuff, maybe Costa Rica is not for you. I can help you ship stuff into Panama or into Belize or into Roatan, Honduras or Mexico. Our company is US based and we do international shipping.
At some point we have to do so are you shipping back more or are you shipping to here more?
Actually, I think I'm getting more customers moving into Costa Rica, which is my main market.
Yeah.
And I think it's because our approach is more, I mean, we do shipping, but we talk to our customers, we make friends, we give them tips. So our approach, so most of my customers succeed. They stay.
Well, that's good to know. And I was kind of halfway making a joke, but the thing is, you work in a world where a lot can go wrong.
Yep.
And without you having obviously nothing to do with, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, what you do, so, and if you're doing that, you want the best, man, because that's stressful, I think.
Yeah.
You're shipping all your stuff. You want it to be there. You don't want that thing to get broken or whatever it is.
So a lot of things that are out of anyone's control, like the weather, like strikes. We did a video about it the other day. The strikes in the US, a bunch of ports they were shutting down.
Oh, right.
There's a million things that are out of our hands. And what we have to do is manage things, inform the customer, let people know upfront, and let people know what to expect, like the honest truth. And I think that's the thing I have against many other moving companies, is like they are not going to share any of that information. They just want to close, get your stuff, and if something goes wrong, then...
Well, that's why you speak at this relocation retreat, because you're amongst a lot of other people we circle ourselves with honesty, trustworthiness, and that kind of thing. So, yeah. Anyway, but we're talking about something a little bit more fun today. So got the beer. So we're going to talk about, I'm trying to do a little bit more human interest stories about living in Costa Rica and what it's like. What if you're single? Can you date here? Is it easy to date? What kind of girls are here? What kind of women? I know some people get offended if I say girls, right? Sorry, but okay, girls, women. So let's maybe start there. As a Chico guy.
As a Costa Rican.
Yeah, as a Costa Rican, sorry.
Yeah.
So, traditional women, like a woman, are you looking for a woman that is going to run the household? More of a traditional thing. You're the wage earner. You're the you're the security and the support, and they're the they're keeping the house right and keeping everything in check. Is that what most Costa Rican men are looking for in a woman?
Okay.
Or do you, or just to give it another side, or are you looking for, hey man, I want a woman that's going after her career and she wants to be a doctor and she's in college and
I think there is a little bit of everything for everyone, depending on what you're looking for.
Well, listen, I'm going to ask you, what are you looking for?
That's like on my life. I'm divorced, so it's been 4 years. I'm divorced. I have 2 kids, and that we're raising together with my ex. And now after 11 years of relationship, then going out, right, and start dating again, and downloading the dating app and getting to know new people. It's a tough.
Are you on Tinder?
It's a no, not at this time. I'm not like on any platform right now.
The dating apps. To be honest, even in the gay world or whatever, the apps are pretty big here. Whether it's Grindr, Tinder,
it's a way. I think I did a video about this before. It's a way people get to know each other.
But do you do it?
No, not right now.
Or would you rather meet like the old-fashioned way? Like,
yeah, I think I'm a really busy person. So if I'm dating, if I'm like actively looking to date, I'll be using an app. Right now, I'm dating somebody like a kind of like a little bit of stable relationship. So I'm not using no apps. But
yeah, because if you were, she would kick your.
Yeah,
what are you doing on Tinder?
Yeah. So the two more popular apps that I've seen is either Tinder, and this is for a straight, right? I don't know if it's straight or gay, but this is for a straight. It's either Tinder or there's another one, yellow icon, Bumble, I believe.
I know that one.
Yeah. So these are the two more popular. Like Tinder has been in the market for like more time, I think, and this other one is newish, and I think it also attracts. I'm always kind of like I kind of like profiling people and profiling because I like marketing, whatever. So the Tinder usually attracts kind of like more like a one stand type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, you want to hook up or you want to go for a beer and then see what happens.
I guess it does depend on what you're.
Yeah, but it's like what I've seen for years is you get more of that in Tinder, and when you get this other app that is kind of like more protective to the lady, so you have to match and wait for the lady to start a conversation, and they have all the things or filters to make it a little bit more formal, I guess.
But that also sounds like maybe looking for more long term. Right now, I use the apps, whether it's Grindr. I was on Tinder before because they do have let's say a gay section. Mine's strictly hookup. I'm not looking for long term or anything like that. But let's get back actually more to the straight world, and let's kind of maybe go. You hang out with a lot of us gringos or people coming down here. What do you think mistakes they make about their perception of women here?
Okay, I think a lot of people when they come and meet somebody down here, I think it's hard if you don't know the culture and you don't know you know anything about the culture and then you barely know the language. It's hard for you to get a true idea of who you're dating with. Like sometimes I see very smart, professional type, successful people dating,
hookers.
No, but you could say that, but not really. Let's say somebody with no education, and it would be in any other context. Like if you are in your own town, you would probably everybody knows each other. You know what I mean. You will want to date somebody with at least the same interest, similar education. I'm not saying that's the perfect world, but that's what at least myself, that's what I would have expect. And when people move here, they usually, they don't have the way to read exactly, some of these things. And there is the language barrier. And then by the time, time goes by, it's a relationship that is not the perfect match as far as intellectual education and even interest. That's just, I have a gut feeling about this.
Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. I've been here 19 years. I have seen a lot of stuff. The gringos that I know, and I know a lot of them, I've got this, I have stories, I know stuff. I know a lot of guys my age that do marry a hooker, we'll say, and I also see what you kind of said. Okay, not a hooker, but more maybe economically not their level, not interest, almost
no interest, no same intellectual. Maybe you're coming
Almost
from
like a father-daughtery thing. Like,
yeah.
somebody. I'm not trying to make it weird. I'm just saying.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, if you find somebody that you really like and you have no interest or no things in common, and maybe you are a more educated person that reads, every afternoon, and this whoever you're dating, Tico or Tika, whatever, all they care about is about soap opera, and not
Right.
really, you know what I mean? It's not the intellectual level. All they care about, you're a lady, you want to date that Costa Rican here, and this guy all he cares about is about the soccer on Wednesdays, on Sundays, and there's nothing more to it. I have the feeling that somehow in the future that relationship is not going to last.
Right. You have to, I mean, come on, long-term relationship, you have to have similar interests. You have to have similar, almost even life philosophy in a way.
Of course.
You can't be super opposed, but I see these guys basically making big mistakes. I don't know what they're doing. They're just making mistakes there. I don't know, because there is that perception that, okay, they're, the Tikas here, some of the women here are looking for the gringo with the money and to take care of them and that kind of.
I could say something a little. I mean, I can take it to the next level. And it may be not just in Costa Rica. It may be just in general. It could happen in Florida. American lady in Florida, girl in Florida, whatever, is looking for the guy with the Porsche and the Ferrari.
Right.
It's a general thing. So you could say that, but I would say it's in any.
You can't blame just Costa Rica.
Yeah, exactly.
But why would you go in that avenue if you're the guy? So, I mean, to me, again, you have to have similar interests. You can't, and I'm not making fun of even the women. It's prostitution is legal here. They're trying to make money too. I totally understand. I'm not even knocking on that. I'm just saying it's these guys that come down here and they're like, okay, they only offer money basically in a. They may not talk about it, but it's understood that
even if you're offering more than a new lifestyle for a local Costa Rican, like you are retired or you have a successful business and you can be a digital nomad and be in Costa Rica. Even if you have more than a new lifestyle for your potential partner or couple in Costa Rica, that additional value that you may bring is not really perceived because maybe the language barrier is not. Is there maybe. You don't understand what all this other person is looking for, and all they see at the first glance is usually a new lifestyle. So it's
it's kind of sad. But the thing is, and I'm going to ask you about this. You do not have to do this. There are educated women here. There's the movers and shakers. There's women out there on their game. There's just as educated or even more. So it's not like there's nothing to, I don't know, let's say choose from. But it seems like they go down here and go. I don't understand. So where would they find them? So you got to go to church? You got to run to them in the supermarket? Do you have So
I mean, try going to the gym on Sunday morning.
Yes.
Try going to the gym on a Saturday morning instead of going to the club on Friday.
You're gonna get what you get. I mean, that's what you're doing. So I don't understand it because they're here. It's just. I don't know. The apps have made things very terrible.
I'll make a little comparison a little bit in Latin America. Latin America, you have, Nicaragua, Central America, Salvador, Guatemala. Out of most of the countries in Latin America, I have the feeling, just me traveling, getting to get to know people in general. I think Costa Ricans, the level of education for the ladies is pretty up there. They usually have at least a college degree, a lot of them. And they usually have trouble finding a good man that is a provider that is a Costa Rican. So more ladies are getting the college degree, are smarter and getting also professional jobs than guys. For many reasons, maybe the guy has to go to work earlier in his life. It's usually what's expected. So if you want to find somebody that's got education that likes intellectual stuff and also likes traveling. It's possible.
Okay, well, let's look at you for a minute. I mean, if I was a woman, I would consider you a catch. Right? Because you're an entrepreneur. You're successful. You're a go-getter. Handsome. You know what I mean? Like, so it's almost like, how do you can you weed out the women that are kind of going, well, I want to latch on to Pablo. He's going somewhere, and I want to hang on him. Do you get those kind of women at all, or do you date mostly like your level, or do you see?
I pick and choose, and I want to surround myself with smart people. It's just like I don't watch TV, I don't drink that much, I don't go out, I don't like big parties. Uh, so if I'm connecting with somebody and connect well, it's usually we can have a really good smart conversation.
Right.
I'm kind of like not the traditional tico in a sense. I'll say like I don't like most Costa Ricans are gonna watch soccer every week, and
Yeah.
they're gonna go to the bar on Friday after work. They finish the clock and they finish work and they go to the bar in the afternoon. And those are the ones that are single. And if they're married, they're just living the marriage life and having kids, and that's what they do. Me personally, I'm just gonna look for an intellectual connection. So, and I know you can find that in locals, and you can also find that with people from other places. The Costa Rica is a very international country now.
Not to get all personal, and you don't have to answer this because I'm not going to go any deeper than this. Was your first wife what you're explaining right now?
My first wife
Was she like
engineer, managed 100 employees.
That's what I was asking. Yeah.
She traveled all Central America for big, like multi-million dollar
So
projects.
equal, and
yeah, I would say even smarter. And I always like to surround myself with the smarter people. Like I have this hungry of learning, so I want to be around smart people. So I always like to be around it. So that I admire her. Just really hardworking, very successful in her career. So that's most of my girlfriends or people that I date with. It's just usually like that. Even like when I'm dating and I'm doing this app thing, I put in writing I want to connect with smart people. Like I'm really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
to
really
make sure everybody
serious.
knows where we're at.
Yeah,
This isn't a hookup necessarily.
No. It could be a hookup, but I wanna know. I wanna talk to people.
Okay,
like it could be a one night like thing. We're getting a video.
But it's still an educated person.
But I want to be able to at least listen to something smart coming out of your mouth. I don't know if I'm being
that's fine.
A bad human being, but that's just me.
Is it true? Okay, question. There's a big joke. I don't know if it's true. It's coming along.
What are you gonna say, Mike?
No, So I have heard, and it is kind of a joke that a lot of Costa Rican men have a wife and like 3 mistresses.
This is very common within Latin America, not just Costa Rica. I would not say 3, but it's common.
Yeah, that's the joke. I'm making it more dramatic. But
I would say it's I would say cheating. It's also something that in Latin America and also in the US and also in Canada. I guess it's everywhere. I have dated. Remember, I was dating a lady from Australia. She will go like, oh, my ex boyfriend, he was from Venezuela, and then she had somebody else from Colombia. They're all cheaters in Latin America. That's what they're.
See, that's a little too stereotypical. Yeah. That's a little too. And I guess that's where the joke comes from, right? I mean, that's where kind of the joke is. Where,
but I in the US, I mean, you watch like there's some of the numbers stats. Oh no, I would say ladies even do it more. Just guys do not realize it. They don't.
That's true. Yeah, it's going that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of going that way. So, what advice would you give to somebody that doesn't really know the culture, or hasn't been really living here, and they are single? Would it be stay off those apps, maybe do it the old-fashioned way, and if you are on an app, be very direct and kind of let you do.
I think
for everything, they seem to all make mistakes, Pablo. All the gringos that come here that I know that like got married will say 9 times out of 10 it does not last.
This is not just for dating. I think in everything you do, you attract something. In business, I only want to attract North Americans, Canadians who wanted to move to Costa Rica. So everything I do is in English. So it's the same thing with dating. Okay, you're dating. What do you want to attract? You want to attract somebody that is smart. Okay, maybe go to a club, reading club. want to attract somebody that is spiritual, maybe connect a church. So everything that you do will attract something. You wanna find somebody that is love surfing, just go to surf. And you go surf and look for the surfing, on was it Sundays or Sunday afternoon in Hermosa. All this group get together. Then you find people aligned with your same interest. Um, and I mean, do not settle for less. And this is in general. Life is like that. You can settle for whatever, or you can just, have your standards. And I would say to anybody, you need to love yourself and have your standards.
Yeah, you can't love anybody else until you love yourself,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. So I don't know what else. What else could we chat about with this? Because you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm talking about relationships, I think it's difficult. You really need to know what you want if you wanna find something serious. If you're just playing around, you just go to clubs, get to meet, but then don't fall in love, because then you're gonna end up in trouble. Now, if you get into a serious relationship and you are somebody with success and you have money, I had customers. This just happened a few months ago. I had customers that fall in love with a Costa Rican. I'm not saying she's educated or not. I'm not saying they didn't have the same level of intellect. I'm just saying he made the mistake. Successful guy make the mistake of, let's do something together. Let's work together. Okay, my mom has a land. Maybe you can build in this land and build an Airbnb, and then we can. So the guy put, like, I don't know, $150,000-$200,000 building on somebody else's property because he's got the cash to do it. So in relationships, you have to always know they can end up at any moment. So a guy paid me a ton of money to ship everything, couple of fancy cars, ship everything to Costa Rica, and then not even a year later, he paid me again to ship everything to another country because his relationship was over. But that took like $200,000 out of his bank account because he made the wrong investment. So if you're gonna get into a relationship in Costa Rica or anywhere, just be smart. You don't have to put your property in somebody else's name, after a year or two of dating this person.
Well, this is where the mistakes. I don't want to. I don't want
It's
to.
okay to date people. It's okay to have a relationship, and even have them to come with you in a trip and maybe upgrade their lifestyle. But you don't have to put your life investment into any relationship.
I don't know. I've just seen, a lot of these things in really bad. And the women, it's almost like they know what they're doing. They know their rights. They end up, they end up owning
I
people's houses.
have something to say. Costa Rica really protects the ladies.
They do.
Like it's not even close to.
That's fine.
No, but I mean, it takes it to another level.
Yes.
Like it takes things to another level. You live with somebody for, like, I think it's year and a half to 2 years,
Common law.
and they already have rights. So if you upgraded their lifestyle in year and a half, just because they're living in your house, then you own them. You have to pay a salary after that. And so,
I don't think people understand.
The Costa Rica laws for this particular topic are tough on you if you're a single successful guy.
Especially, and even if you're a gringo, you're going to lose because women do have the rights. And I've just seen such sad stories where the guy comes down, doesn't even have to have a lot of money, but gets tied up with maybe a younger girl or woman or whatever, and then it goes south, and then the women ends up owning his house.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have a friend. He's also in the traveling. He's one of those guys that drives buses, shuttles, services. Super nice guy. He's a super cool guy. And he has to work and has to hustle. He used to have a nice corporate job with a nice salary, but he has to just go, okay, I'm going to hustle and be a minivan driver now for tourism to get cash. Because if he gets his salary through the company,
he has to give it up.
He has to, they take a portion out of his check, like immediately. And he's almost about to retire. He's like almost 60 years old. And for like over 20 years, he's been paying this mandatory.
They used to pick you up and put you in jail.
$500 a month. And some people, if they don't pay, they go to jail.
Yeah. He wasn't a friend. I just knew him, and he was trying, but he wasn't working. He just wasn't having any money coming in. They did pick him up. They did put him in jail.
So this is for your kids. You have kids with somebody in Costa Rica. You have to pay a salary. Child support. but it's also for if you have a relationship over 2 years, you live with this person. Maybe you live in a nice, let's say, $1,500 a month apartment or house, and then she can go to the court and say, "Well, my lifestyle with this gentleman is this $1,000 house. Now I cannot afford that because, of course, she doesn't work, or of course, she's maybe just a student, and then she could get a salary out of you."
There are prenups here, right?
Oh yeah, and then you have to. If
Right,
you get it, you
prenups. I
have
mean,
to.
you can like try to protect your stuff.
Of
right?
course.
Are they solid? Do they?
I do.
So if
Yeah.
you have a prenup, it's going to work. You did your thing.
100%.
And I would always encourage people to go.
I think that's a good message, man. If you're doing a relationship with somebody in another country, you look for these legal options to protect yourself, because especially Costa Rica, I think it's a tough. The laws are really tough on you if she wants to get something out of you.
If you had to explain a Costa Rica woman to somebody that's never been here, what would you say in, like, let's say 50 words or less? If you had to describe a Costa Rican woman,
I mean, I don't
typical
think
Costa Rican woman, just right off the top of your head, maybe 50 words on.
I'll say Costa Rican women may not be as different from ladies out of the U.S. I would say a lot of them like to have some level of independency. So a lot of them will want to have a job or a profession. So that's pretty standard for Costa Rica, and this is because it's needed. Like the Costa Rica household, you need the $1,000 that the husband makes, and it's needed if this house wants to, they want to do something. They need the wife to work. So it's a normal thing to see a lady being a nurse, a lady being a teacher, a lady working in a restaurant. It's very normal. So independent to some level, they're independent. Of course, there are always the lazy ones that are cute that I want to get, the free pass.
Yeah.
That's always going to be everywhere.
That's anywhere.
But most, in average, could be willing to work. They're willing to work. They're hardworking ladies, hardworking people.
Now, is it true that when you marry Chico, you marry the family?
Mm-hmm.
So now, okay, to follow that up, what would you say the percentage of? I don't see you doing this, but it seems like even the Anika that works with me, she married a Chico. I love him. He's a great guy. But his father built a bunch of houses in a big piece of land, and all the brothers, families right here. Is that more common than not? Or would you, if it's 50-50, or is that pretty common that there's family is kind of set up like that, close in proximity, or a lot of togetherness? I don't see you doing that.
No.
But I've seen it a lot, to where
it's very common for a couple. I think for a couple of reasons. It's very common to see a family that if dad or grandpa has a big piece of property, the next generation, leverage on that and builds. Someone like that could say, "Well, this is the land, you can build your house right there," and it's like you already have a piece of land, but it belongs to grandpa.
Yeah,
right. The title of the property belongs to grandpa. So it's common. I've seen it. I've seen it many times, and also Costa Rican, Latin Americans, families in general are very close. They're very together. You said it. I mean, you married a Costa Rican. You also marry in the family, because more often than not, uncle or brother wants to come and stay for a week in your house. It's very common within Latin America. Me, I'm very independent. My family is very independent.
Everyone's you love each other, but everyone's doing their thing.
Everybody's doing their thing. My brother just moved to Spain. It's just
which one?
Yeah, the one I met. No, that's Andres. Oh, Marilyn.
Yes,
you met Marilyn. Yeah, you met Marilyn.
Oh, wow.
So he and his wife just moved maybe 4 months ago to Spain. So they're doing their thing. I'm doing my thing. So that's.
So do you have to? So do you have to be living in San Jose, or the obviously the biggest city here, to find the women that you would be interested in? Because I swear I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm not, but you start getting into more. I mean, this, even La Fortuna, although it's a big time tourist town, this is a farming cattle town. Mm-hmm. It's traditional thinking. It's that kind of thing. So would you have to kind of be sticking around the San Jose area to find maybe a more?
No.
You know what I mean? I'm not asking not to sound bad. I'm just saying.
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously, when you live in a bigger, with a bigger population in San Jose, which is like what, maybe 2.5 million people lives in San Jose, there are going to be more options. There's more people there, but not necessarily. When you go into a smaller town, people are friendlier sometimes. Maybe that's what you want, somebody that is friendlier, and of course they're more family oriented, and you start getting away from the city. The type of lifestyle is everybody say hi to each other in the morning. If you go rural, and as soon as you get to a bigger city, nobody has time to say hi to you. Right. Everybody's in a rush, kind of like a little angry because of the traffic. So it's a different type of people, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you can find somebody that is nice for you in the rural or in the city. And a lot of the people, the youngsters, the ladies, they were born in San Carlos. They were born in a rural place, but they go for work to San Jose. I mean, all of this work that you see in this rural area, in Fortuna and all the touristy places, is not enough for all the people. So some of them will stay here and do, service or hotel work or this type of work. But a lot of them will go to San Jose to find a little bit more corporate jobs and call centers and some other options. So that's kind of like the dynamic of as in a small country like Costa Rica.
Okay, so obviously we're jumping around from a gringo coming down here, and then we're also talking about like Tico stuff or Costa Rican stuff. So what would be your quick tips to tell? Let's go back to a gringo for a minute. Tell me if I've got these right? So the tips would be: learn the culture before you jump in. Don't jump in to anything too quick. Maybe be very specific in what you're looking for and search out those places. I mean, to me it makes sense, but unfortunately, this phone has made everything way, because I'm the opposite. If we were doing this interview with me, I'm like on an app and I got somebody in my house in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But I'm doing something different. I'm not looking for that thing.
Yeah, but I think
and the problem is, I think some of these guys come down here, get on those kind of apps, do that thing. Oh, but we love each other. All of a sudden it went from I just was looking for a hookup to like, oh, she might be the right one. You know what I mean? It's like, so maybe learn the culture a little bit. Don't jump into anything, because a lot of people do that, man. They come down here and let's say they go to some place and they meet that girl, and next thing you know, they're communicating, writing each other. It's like
it will happen. I was just saying, like, if that's what you're looking for, just go out, date, have fun.
Right.
But when you go into, you're making your life plans, you have to be really smart about it. Don't let your feelings get all,
Well, most gringos aren't that smart about it that I run into here. I don't know what the thing is. They get clouded somehow, but
most people, let's say not even gringo or tico, most people, most guys, most women, you fall in love with somebody, then you're blind.
Yeah.
And it could be a piece of shit guy or whatever, and she's blind because whatever, she's in love. So you have to be smart, and the only way to be about it is like knowing who you are and being very intentional of what you want in the future for you. This is kind of like a sad story. I don't know what I'm going to even say. I don't know if I wanted to say this, but this is a kind of like, you go into a relationship, and it happens to me. I'm divorced 11 years. And we did in 11 years everything that my wife wanted. She wanted a house. She wanted 2 kids. She wanted this. She wanted that. We did everything. And in those 11 years, I wanted to grow my business. And I didn't have enough time to grow my business because I was doing everything she wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in life, that's how it's life. You went into a relationship, and if you're not wanting the same thing, what's going to happen is you're going to feel that you have been taken advantage of, because you're going to spend time doing what your potential couple wants and not doing what you really want. So I think having the awareness of knowing who you are, what you want, what's your plan, looking for somebody that comes with the same direction, that I think that's at least that's the recipe I have now. Now I'm 43 years old.
Well, some people, I never really heard of this theory until recently, but some people say that you shouldn't date anybody that you don't want to marry. You know what I mean? So why are you doing this thing? If you're serious about finding the right person, then why are you messing around with things that you not things, but people that you know has no future? So I was thinking about that, and I was like, technically, that's sound advice, man. If you think about it, I've just got. If I wouldn't marry this
but
person,
us guys, we just want to fool around. That's basically it. Yeah. You know, ladies, they want to get married. They want to catch you, right? But us guys, that is the problem. Us guys, oh, she's cute. You know, she's got a nice, she's looking good, right? And just to be, quite honest, and that's where then you end up dating somebody, and she might not be the perfect match based on your interest or what you want. But then she is entertaining you, and then you're going into like more and more, and all of a sudden you have a baby you implant. All of a sudden you're getting just go.
Actually, talk about that real quick. So, let's say never an interest in marrying, hook up. There's a pregnancy. What's the laws here about all that?
Well, you're responsible.
Yeah, you're responsible now, right?
You're responsible.
I had a guy couldn't leave the country.
Yep.
So
you're responsible.
Be careful, guys.
And just so you know, this is what I did. As soon as I got divorced, I didn't want to have more kids or anything. I just went for like $500, and then you don't have more kids here in Costa Rica. Maybe in the US it's 5,000, but in Costa Rica,
I think that's relatively doable. I think you can get that.
It's not expensive, and it's only an hour, and then you have no kids, and you can get.
Yeah, man. You get a woman pregnant here, and it wasn't expected, and you didn't want anything really to do with her. You will be tied to this woman and the baby for.
Yeah, and then they're gonna, even if you move somewhere else, they can follow you with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, have to be careful.
All right, man. Pablo, thanks. This was very interesting. Makes me want to go throw out all my apps and go to church.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm Mike Lown for TravelCostaRicanNow.com, man. I hope you found this informative. Hey, my videos are going to pop up. If you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, I'm going to save my videos. All right, man. Pablo, thanks, dude.